Welcome to Mastering Python for Software Development. In this video series, we will explore the fundamentals of Python programming language and how it can be used for software development. Python is a high-level, interpreted programming language that is easy to learn and use. It is widely used in various industries, including web development, data science, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. Python was created by Guido van Rossum in the late 1980s and was first released in 1991. Since then, it has become one of the most popular programming languages in the world. It is an open-source language, which means that anyone can use, modify, and distribute it. Python has a simple syntax that makes it easy to read and write. It is also a dynamically typed language, which means that you don't have to declare the data type of a variable before using it. Python also has a large standard library that provides many useful modules and functions. In this video series, we will cover the following topics: installing Python and setting up the development environment, basic syntax and data types, control structures and functions, object-oriented programming, file handling and modules, web development with Python, data science and machine learning with Python. By the end of this video series, you will have a solid understanding of Python programming language and how it can be used for software development. Before we start writing Python code, we need to install Python and set up the development environment. Python can be downloaded from the official website python.org. You can choose the version of Python that you want to install, but we recommend using the latest version, which is Python 3. Once you have downloaded the Python installer, run it, and follow the instructions to install Python on your computer. Make sure to add Python to your system's path environment variable so that you can run Python from the command line. To write Python code, you can use any text editor or integrated development environment IDE of your choice. Some popular choices include Visual Studio Code, PyCharm, and Sublime Text. These editors provide features such as syntax highlighting, code completion, and debugging. In addition to a text editor or IDE, you may also want to install some Python packages that are commonly used in software development. These packages can be installed using the pip package manager, which comes with Python. To install a package, open the command prompt or terminal and type pip install package name. Some popular packages include NumPy, Pandas, and Flask. Once you have installed Python and set up the development environment, you are ready to start writing Python code. In the next segment, we will cover the basic syntax and data types of Python. In this segment, we will cover the basic syntax and data types of Python. Python code is written in plain text files with a PY extension. To run a Python program, you can use the command python filename py in the command prompt or terminal. Let's start with the basic syntax of Python. Python uses indentation to indicate blocks of code, instead of using curly braces like in other programming languages. This means that the indentation level of a line of code determines which block it belongs to. For example, if x0, print x is positive, print x is non-positive. In this code, the statement and the else statements are indented to indicate that they belong to the same block of code. Python has several built-in data types, including integers, floats, strings, booleans, and lists. Integers and floats are used to represent numerical values, while strings are used to represent text. Booleans represent true or false values, and lists are used to store collections of values. Here's an example of how to use these data types in Python. Hash integers and floats. X equals 5. Y equals 3.14. Hash strings. Name equals John. Greeting equals hello, plus name. Hash booleans. Is raining equals true. Is sunny equals false. Hash lists. Numbers equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fruits equals apple, banana, orange. In addition to these basic data types, Python also has many built-in functions and operators that can be used to manipulate data. For example, the len function can be used to get the length of a list or string, and the plus operator can be used to concatenate strings. In the next segment, we will cover control structures and functions in Python. In this segment, we will cover control structures and functions in Python. Control structures are used to control the flow of a program, while functions are used to encapsulate a block of code that can be reused. Python has several control structures, including if-else statements, for loops, and while loops. These structures can be used to execute different blocks of code depending on certain conditions. For example, hash if-else statement. X equals 5. If x0, print x is positive. Print x is non-positive. Hash for loop. Fruits equals apple, banana, orange. Print fruit. Hash while loop. I equals 0. while I5, print I plus equals 1. Functions in Python are defined using the def keyword, followed by the function name and any parameters. The code inside the function is indented, just like in control structures. Here's an example of a function that calculates the area of a rectangle. Def calculate area length, width. Area equals length asterisk width. Return area. Hash calling the function. Result equals calculate area of 3. Print result. In addition to built-in control structures and functions, Python also has a large standard library that provides many useful modules and functions. These modules can be imported into your program using the import keyword. For example, the math module provides functions for mathematical operations, such as calculating square roots and trigonometric functions. In the next segment, we will cover object-oriented programming in Python. In this final segment, we will cover object-oriented programming (OOP) in Python. OOP is a programming paradigm that uses objects to represent and manipulate data. Objects are instances of classes, which are templates for creating objects. Python supports OOP through classes and objects. To define a class in Python, use the class keyword, followed by the class name and any properties or methods. Here's an example of a class that represents a person. Definite self name age. Self name equals name. Self age equals age. Def say hello self. Print hello, my name is plus self name. Hash creating an object of the person class. Person equals person John, 30. Person say hello. In this code, the person class has two properties, name and age, and one method, say hello. The init method is a special method that is called when an object of the class is created. Python also supports inheritance, which allows a class to inherit properties and methods from another class. To create a subclass, use the class keyword, followed by the subclass name and the name of the superclass in parentheses. Here's an example of a subclass that inherits from the person class. Definite self name, age, student ID. Super. Init name, age. Self, student ID equals student ID. Def say hello self. Print hello, my name is plus self, name plus, and my student ID is plus SCR self, student ID. Hash creating an object of the student class. Student equals student chain 20, 12,345. Student, say hello. In this code, the student class inherits from the person class and adds a new property, student ID, and a new implementation of the say hello method. Python also supports other OOP concepts such as encapsulation, polymorphism, and abstraction. These concepts can be used to create more complex and flexible programs. That concludes our video series on mastering Python for software development. We hope that you have learned a lot about Python and how it can be used for software development. Thank you for watching.